tuned to Heartbeat, a special program dedicated to all the lovers out there, from the young loves to the old flames. This is a special program for you. On this program, we like to take a journey down the tunnel of love. We like to take that trip down Lover's Lane and explore love and appreciate love in all its beauties and complexities. We embrace love. We dive deep into love. We open love up. We indulge love. And we make love our creed. We like to take on all the aspects of love, all the things, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. This is what we do here on Heartbeat. My name is Bucci, and if this is your first time listening to this program, we are going to take a journey together. We're going to take a beautiful ride down Lover's Lane. And on the way, we're going to try and tackle our relationship problems, those matters of the heart that are troubling us, troubling our hearts. At some point, we're going to open up the lines to you out there for you to call in and share your love stories. Everybody has a love story, good, bad, whatever the case may be. Share, because sharing is part of solving that problem. Or maybe there's someone out there special that you want to reach out to and just tell them how they make you feel. This is your program. This is your avenue. So wherever you are right now, whether you're cuddled up in bed with that special someone or your lonely heart, just looking to reach out and touch someone, or reaching out to find that special someone to share that time, that love, that care with, this is your chance. This is your forum. We're going to take a musical break, and when we come back, we're going to dive straight into the topic of the day. Something that we tend to overlook in our relationships, an aspect of our relationships that seems to always go brushed under the bud, under the cupboard, that we just push aside. So stay tuned, tune in, and don't go anywhere. And of course, my name is Bucci, and like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. This is still Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM. Don't go anywhere. And if you can hear the sound of my voice right now, you're tuned to one special program and one program alone: Heartbeat, a program dedicated to all the lovers out there, from the young loves to the old flames. And of course, my name is Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. And in the immortal words of Charlie Chaplin, I'm a tramp, a gentleman, a poet, a dreamer, a lonely fellow, always hopeful of romance and an adventure. Tonight I want to talk about something that I haven't really spoken about in a long time. For the last few episodes, I've been speaking straight from the heart. I've been talking about differences between men and women, towards bridging understanding between both the sexes. I've actually also talked about real life situations, stories, love stories of friends, of people looking for solutions to their problems. But it's been a while since I've talked about a topic a little lighthearted. A little, I won't call it lighthearted per se, it's still very important, but still lighthearted in that regard. So tonight I want to just talk about something that we tend to skip over in our relationships, especially if you're in a long distance relationships. I want to talk about just a few tips towards making a long distance relationship work. Now, you see, many people believe that long distance relationships are never going to work out. I mean, your family may discourage you, and some of even your best friends may advise you not to take it on or take it too seriously in case you get your heart broken. But you see, nobody says it's going to be easy. I mean, that extra distance alone makes many things unachievable. Things could get complicated. You could get sad. You can get lonely at times. But however, I believe that that extra distance also makes the simplest things the sweetest. Being able to hold to the other person's hand, eating together from the same table, feeling each other's touch, taking a walk together, smiling at each other, even just smelling that person's skin or their hair. All these small things, all these small wishes. You see, these things now suddenly become much more important. They become real, and they become exciting, and they add that sweetness to a long distance relationship. I just want to give you a few tips towards making that if you're involved in a long distance relationship. I just want to give you a few tips towards enhancing it, towards making it last, because like I said, a lot of people don't believe long distance relationships work out, that they're not feasible, but the truth is they are. If you're willing to put in the effort, if that person is really that important and that special, and you're willing to put in that effort, you can maintain that kind of relationship. You see, long distance relationships may be tough, but it also has its own surprises. And to keep your love alive and strong, these are some tips that you just might want to consider. 1. Avoiding excessive communication. You see, this is a tricky thing because, of course, communication is important and key towards maintaining a long distance relationship. But what we're talking about here is avoiding excessive communication. You see, it's unwise, it's not smart to be overly sticky, possessive, or towards your partner. You see, the two of you don't really have to communicate 12 hours a day, making 50,000 calls a minute. I mean, I'm reminded of a colleague of mine who, on a constant basis, speaks to her boyfriend. I mean, every second she's on the phone speaking to her boyfriend. What did you eat? Have you eaten? When did you eat? How did you eat what you ate? Have you washed your plate? Have you left the restaurant? Where are you walking to? Constantly on the phone trying to keep that thing. For me, that's excessive. See, you don't have to communicate 12 hours a day to keep your relationship going. You see, many couples, though they may seem that need to compensate before the distance by that excessive communication. They feel they need to keep that, to compensate, they need to keep talking. But the truth is, it's not true. And it might, in the long run, make things worse. Because what happens when there's nothing to talk about, when there's no communication, there's nothing to say, when you've said all the words and all the stories and every single thing that you can? How do you, man, move on from there? You see, the truth is, you get tired of the loving. You get tired of the communication. And to be honest, isn't less always more? You see, it's not about just that constant communication. It's about meaningful communication. I mean, it's not about that constant. It's about meaningful. It makes the next conversation, or it makes the next time you communicate, all the sweeter. The truth is, if you try to do that excessive communication, talking all the time, you're going to exhaust yourself. It's all about teasing at the right moment and tugging, and not always being present, not always being there, not always talking at every single junction. You see, my next point is, you should see this, if you're in a long distance relationship, see it as an opportunity. You see, if you want to live together, you first need to learn how to live apart. You see, view this time, this distance, this long distance time, as a journey, as an opportunity to learn about each other, as a journey in learning per se. Let's put it that way. You see it as a test of your love for each other. The Chinese have a saying. You see, they say real gold is not afraid to be tested by fire. Instead of thinking that this long distance relationship is pulling the two of you apart, you should believe that through this experience, the both of you, your partner, you and your partner, will be bound together even stronger. You see, that is the key. You should see it as an opportunity to know about this person without being in contact. At least use that time to communicate. Because many times when we are together in our relationships, we tend to lose that touch of communication because that person is always present and always constant. But in a long distance relationship, you should see it as an opportunity to communicate, test your bounds of communication, and learn about each other. There's a saying that goes, I would rather be here, far from you, but feeling really close, than being close to you, but feeling very far away. The next point, you see, you should always try to set some ground rules to manage your expectations. You see, of course, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. But the thing is, both of you need to be clear with what you expect of each other during this long distance relationship. You see, set some ground rules so that none of you will do things that will take the other person by surprise. For instance, if the two of you are in an exclusive relationship, why not set the established boundaries? If we're in an exclusive relationship, and although it's long distance, then there shouldn't be any third party. Or if it's not an exclusive relationship, then there shouldn't be any repercussions towards seeing other people. We are in an advanced society. These things happen. You don't want to be in a long distance relationship and then learn that your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your husband or your wife is getting that satisfaction or getting that physical release from another person. Establish some ground rules. If we're apart, maybe you're dating this person, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, be open about it. Talk openly. If you choose exclusivity with one another, then stick to it. If you don't, then understand. Let it be clear. So no third party is going to call in and say, oh, I saw your girlfriend with so-so person at so-so time. At least you have an idea. You know where things are. And you don't get that shock. You don't get that instance of a heartbreak. Now, my fourth point, which may sound like a bit of a contrast from the first point. You should try to communicate regularly and creatively. Now, don't get me wrong. Like we said in the first point, excessive communication could stand as a dampener to kill your relationship. But here in this point, communicating regularly is key. I mean, if it's possible, greet each other good morning and greet each other good night every day. At least that. Start your day with this person at the top of your mind and end your day with said person who's in that distance, who's away from you, at the top of it. So a person knows and understands that they are important to you and you are important to them. That you put them first at the top of your head. And on top of that, like I said, creatively, try to update or do something differently. Don't fall into those patterns, those repetitive patterns. Because you see, when you fall into those kind of repetitive patterns, when you fall into that sink, when you just fall in like that, it becomes boring. The relationship becomes stale. So put a spin on it. If it's the way you greet, if it's the way you talk, if it's something. And on top of that, always try to update your partner on your life and things that are happening. However small, however mundane these things are, whatever it is, give them an update. In fact, sometimes you could even make it a game. Here's an example. You can put it to a game. Send each other pictures and audio clips, short videos from time to time. Put in that effort. Make it count. Make it last. My fifth point, and this may seem a little controversial, but this is a program about love. Try to be explicit with one another in your conversation. Try to talk dirty. You see, the truth is, sexual tension is undoubtedly one of the most important things between couples. However you want to admit it, however you want to spin it, it is just the truth. You see, the truth is, sexual desire is like a glue that keeps both parties from drifting apart. And the truth is, sex is just not a biological need. It's an emotional one as well. You see, keep the flame burning. You should always keep that flame burning. If it's sending each other a nice love note, something a little explicit, it keeps that excitement within your relationship. I'm not saying be totally explicit, but maybe just an innuendo, a hint there. It provokes the senses and shows that interest and shows that desire in that person, especially when it comes to long distance relationships. Avoid any kind of, let me put it as this, avoid any kind of dangerous situation. This is my next point. You see, if you already know that maybe going out, drinking in a group with your friends, clubbing or something like that, maybe this might displease your partner. Maybe you know your partner wouldn't like something like this. Then you should either, one, not do it, or two, tell your partner before ahead of time so that they know or they are aware. Just like I said, you want to communicate with your partner, and that constant communication, constant and relevant communication is key. So don't get yourself in a situation where You get in trouble with your partner and your partner is angry with you and you feel, why is this person angry with me over this and that, blah, blah, blah. No. If you know that doing this because your partner is away and doing this will upset your partner, why not just try avoid it altogether or discuss it with your partner so it doesn't come up as some kind of threat to the relationship. It doesn't come up as some kind of blockade. Talk with your partner. Oh, babe, there's a party here and I'm going here. This is what's going to happen. You know, that kind. Explain. Talk. This is the situation. So it doesn't catch your partner off guard. Now, do things together. What do I mean by this? It sounds odd, especially in a long distance relationship. But it's that extra effort that keeps the relationship alive. If it's to play an online game together, if it's to watch a movie or documentary together, if it's to share that time together, maybe via Skype or even video calling on WhatsApp, do an activity together. Maybe you read a book together. Read it. Maybe you have an agreement. Okay, we're going to read 3 chapters of this book and tonight we can talk about it. Gives you something to talk about. An activity together. Maybe there are many online games. If it's chess, if it's Scrabble, if it's Ludo, if it's racing, whatever it is, play a game together. Play against each other. If it's FaceTiming, you FaceTime together. You see, that helps grow the bond. It helps cement it together. If you can even buy gifts for each other, then do so. Order a gift and send it to your partner's location and vice versa. It helps build that bond. Also, like, to add to this point, doing similar things. If it's a series, watch the series together and talk about it. Game of Thrones is a very popular series that is enjoyed by many people. Maybe you watch it together. If your girlfriend is maybe into some sort of Telemundo show, or even Z World, but she's not with you, why not watch an episode together? She watches it where she is, you watch it where you are, and you both discuss about it. It shows that care in that interest of that person, that you care enough to put yourself in that person's place, to express yourself. Show that interest in that person's life. That's how you attract and feign that love together. You should also make it a point to visit each other, no matter what. Make the visit a highlight. You see, in a long distance relationship, at some point, that distance must be met. That distance must be closed. Maybe if it's you're working in another state, you take a leave. You come, you spend that time with your partner, and then you have to go back. So now you and your partner are both looking forward to that time when you're together. It gives you something, a goal set in mind ahead of you. Plan it out together. You see, after all that waiting and yearning and absence, you finally get to meet each other and you fulfill some of the little things like that had been building up, like we talked about, like holding each other's hands, looking in each other's eyes, if it's kissing, if it's just those little things. It makes it all the more sweeter and even all the more special, especially in couples. Set a goal in mind together. What do you want to achieve at the end of your day? Okay, today we're going to do this, or I'm going to do this, and you're going to do this. This is our end goal. You both have certain goals. You're both aware of those goals, and at the end of the day, you share. This is how we came to this. Plan things out together. If it's possible, do a timeline. Mark it down on your calendars, on your timetables, on your clock, something. But have an end goal in mind and achieve it and work towards it together. And also, this is also a very key point. Enjoy your alone time and your time with your friends and family. What do I mean by this? You see, you may be alone right now in this long distance relationship. You may be alone, but you're not lonely unless you choose and feel like it, or you choose to be lonely. You don't have to let the world revolve around you and your partner. You have friends, you have family. Interact. Don't be stuck like that. Don't be so locked in to that thing. Yes, you're in a relationship, but then every relationship also needs air to breathe, even in a long distance relationship. Don't be jealous, don't be self centered. Share time with your family, share time with your friends, and then also still maintain that time for your partner. And this should also work vice versa. Your partner is going to make friends. Your partner is probably going to have family wherever they are, whatever the distance is. Spread that time so that you know that the time that you share in communicating together becomes all the sweeter and all the more important. This is a key point. Always stay honest with each other. Don't be afraid to talk about your feelings of fear, of insecurity, of jealousy, apathy, whatsoever it is that you're feeling. Don't be afraid to share this with your partner. You see, the truth is, if you try to hide anything from your partner, the secret will sooner or later will swallow you up from the inside out. So don't try to deal with things all by yourself. Be open and honest with your partner, with each other. Let your partner help you or give you that support or advice on whatever it is. Always share. Don't be afraid. Don't segment, because that honesty and that openness still is a good part or a good factor to connect with you and your partner, especially when you're sharing a long distance relationship. Know each other's schedules. I think we talked about this. Understanding each other's schedules. Opening up your diaries to each other. Keep track of each other, even if it's on social media. If your partner puts up, like it. Follow each other. There's nothing wrong there. We talked about sending gifts to one another. Talked about messaging. If it's WhatsApp, don't be afraid of messaging. I get this a lot. People talk about, oh, he doesn't call me, he has to call. Sometimes words fail. There's nothing wrong in having a good messenger app like WhatsApp or Insta Message or Facebook Message. Send a message. Type something. Share a conversation online. There's nothing wrong there. Stay positive. You see, it's always very trying. A long distance relationship, like we said, is something that's always very trying. It's very difficult to maintain, especially when there isn't that physical connection. You should always stay positive. You always need to inject positivity, that positive energy into your long distance relationship to keep it alive. Waiting can be painful. And you can sometimes feel so lonesome that you need to remind yourself that the fruits that will bear at the end of this relationship, at the end, will be all the sweeter. So always stay positive. Look to the bright side. Things are going to get better. This person, by the time this distance ends, always stay positive. These are just a few helpful tips I can give you out there if you're in a long distance relationship, to maintain it, to grow it, to give it life and give it substance. So remember, if you're involved in a long distance relationship, remember some of these steps. Don't be afraid. It's tough work. It's not easy. But I tell you, if that person is worth it, the end result will be all the sweeter. You're still tuned to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. We're going to take a musical break, and when we come back, I'm going to open up the lines to you for you to share your love stories. What's that thing troubling your heart? What's that thing, that matter of the heart that's giving you a sleepless night that you just want to find a solution to? This might be the place. Are you a lonely heart looking for someone to reach out to? You can call in as soon as we come back from this musical break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Rights Radio.
Welcome back to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. And if you can hear the sound of my voice, then you know you're tuned to Heartbeat, a special program dedicated to all the lovers out there. Before the break, we talked about 21 tips, just a few tips. I won't say 21, but I mentioned a few back to back. A few seem like they're repeated, but I mentioned a few tips for you towards maintaining a long distance relationship. Many people might discourage you and tell you how hard it is or how impossible it is. But then there are few tips to make it all the sweeter. Are you in a long distance relationship right now with someone that isn't close to you, but your heart is right next to that person? Is there someone you want to reach out to tell them how much you love them? Why not call in? The number to call is still 081 8999 1011. I'll take it again. 081 8999 1011. Is there something troubling your heart this evening? Something that's just weighing you down in your relationship, and you've turned to all the places you can, but you just can't seem to find that solution. A problem shared, they say, is half solved. And in fact, no man, like we say, is an island of knowledge. No man is a library of knowledge. Why not call in? Maybe someone out there has the answer to your problem. Or is there someone you just want to reach out to tell them how you feel? Call in, share your love story, and together we can move forward together. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Evening.
Welcome to Heartbeat. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Abuja.
What's your name?
My name is John.
John from Abuja.
Yeah.
All right. How is Abuja this evening, even though we're all in Abuja together?
Hello?
How is Abuja this evening, John?
Fine.
All right. Talk to me. What's on your mind?
There is something that is bothering me, so that I want to share it for you, so that you help.
All right. Talk to me.
About friendship.
Okay. Talk to me. Talk to me. Let me hear you.
Okay. There's a lady that I want to marry. You can't hear my word, only your own words.
Mm-hmm.
So every time, little thing that you are made, you don't trust me anymore. I don't know what to do.
Okay, John, there's a lady you want to marry and you love her so much, but every time you talk with her, she gets annoyed and you don't know what to do. You've tried to convince her. When did this happen? Did you do anything at any point in time to break that trust, or is it something that just started up?
Yeah, there's some misunderstanding that you have from the beginning, but I beg you forgiveness for that.
Okay, and she just can't let go of that. She can't seem to forgive you.
So she told me that it's forgive, but always he used to remember me always.
Okay, on that same issue.
Yeah.
Okay, John, if you've been listening to the program, I think yesterday and today and last week we talked about emotional pain, especially for women. Women are very emotional creatures, and they tend to their pain, that emotional pain, is something that doesn't see time or doesn't have a beginning or end. It always translates into the next problem or the next issue. Now, John, sorry, that looks like we lost that call. John, if you can hear me, I don't know how I can solve this problem for you. The best thing I can tell you is just show consistency. Just try and be consistent and show consistency with your partner so that, and eventually in time, she can get over her own insecurities. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Sorry, the background is a bit loud. I can't hear what you're saying. If you can hear me, please call back. The number once again is still 081-8999-1011. And when you call in, please turn down the volume of your radio set so that you can hear me and I can hear you and we can communicate properly. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Heartbeat.
My name is Victoria. I'm calling from Lokogoma.
Victoria from Lokogoma. How is Lokogoma this evening?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, talk to me, sweetheart. What can I do for you?
Okay, my problem is about I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
But it's a distance relationship.
A long distance relationship, okay?
The relationship has not been favorable for me. And I don't know. It's something that is man. I love him. Obviously. But I don't really know if he really loves me. Understand? And I'm a kind of person who, if I love someone, I will not showcase it.
Okay.
I will not make you know that I really love you. I'm very harsh.
Yes.
I can be harsh at times.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
I don't tolerate. If I tell you no is my no, yes is my yes.
Yes.
Okay. This has been troubling me since over and over.
Okay. Okay.
As you said, women are too emotional. I'm very, very much emotional and jealous.
Okay.
Yes. So, I've been trying all my possible best to make sure that my relationship is intact and strong.
Yes.
But besides, I don't know the person whom I'm dealing with, if they really have the intention that the relationship will be strong and it will go a long way. After, I know that one is something that he has been saying, marriage. And I have a lot of sisters coming. Okay, this distance relationship is that my friend, he traveled out.
Okay.
He traveled out of the country. And whenever he calls, he will be asking a lot of things. Are you feeling like I'm fine? Who are you with? All those things. He's the kind of person who will know if you are with someone or if you are cheating and all.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I'll keep telling him nothing like that. He will be suspecting. I'm the kind of person who doesn't take steps as nothing. I take steps as nothing. It doesn't even come to my mind.
Yes. Yes.
I live a free life. That is the reason why I always engage myself in something doing. If I don't have anything doing, I'll be reading my book so that all those thinking of something bad, evil, and other things won't come to my mind. But this thing now, I'll be telling him, okay, when are you coming back?
Yes.
He said he doesn't know. I told him, okay, look, I have a lot of people coming from me. What do you want me to do? He said, are you so inquisitive to get married? I said, I'm a lady.
Of course.
I don't know where the relationship is headed.
Yes.
He said, calm down. At the time, he will stop calling me. At the time, he will stop chatting me. If I will even see him online, he will not even say hi. It baffled me. And the people whom I don't really know,
yes,
they are only behind the marriage. Most of them have not seen them. They will go to my house to make a cry and everything. They will be calling me on phone.
Yes.
When do we see? Some will say, come to Lagos. Some will say, come to Port. When do see you? I said, no. I'm in a relationship. I don't know what to do. Should I quit the relationship or what?
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
for your advice.
All right. Victoria.
Yes.
How long have you been in a relationship with this person, with your boyfriend or your fiance? Let me call him your boyfriend since he hasn't proposed to
I've
you
been
yet.
in a relationship since 2012. In fact, even more
2012.
than that, even more than that. I entered school 2012. We've been in the relationship, but not too tight when we were in Nigeria leadership, but
Okay.
I tried to make it so tight.
Mm.
We now traveled and other things, and still we were still saying what we have been saying, I graduated, I went to this place, I went for my service, I came out. Other things still exist, and I've been asking him, what do you want me to do? Should I wait? Should I get married? No answer.
Okay. How long has he been out of the country? And you've been in this long distance relationship now. Like, how long has he been out of the
He has
country?
been for 2 years.
2 years. Okay. When was the last time you actually saw him physically?
I saw him face to face.
Yes, as in, when was the last time he came back and you saw him together? You were face to face.
When
Was
we
it the same?
traveled, we saw 2014.
Okay. All right.
Before we traveled, we saw.
Okay. Okay. Victoria, the thing is, I understand where you're coming from and I feel your pain, especially for a woman. There's a lot of pressure around you, especially when it comes to that age of, your biological clock is ticking. The people at your family is asking you, when are you getting married? You're trying to maintain a relationship with somebody, especially somebody that you love and you see your future with. But he doesn't seem to be ready or see that same future with you. Now, in a situation like this, Victoria, I can't tell you quit because I don't know the extent of your relationship. I don't know I can't tell you to just walk away. But what I can tell you is this. I understand your pain and what is going through. But if he himself is not being specific, he himself is not being concrete, like one of the things we talked about this evening is to maintain a long distance relationship, you must make a plan together. You must update each other frequently. If you must talk, if you have to talk, even if it's good morning in the morning and good evening. I mean, if it's Facebook, he's out of the country, so maybe call rates are high. Even if it's Facebook, you can send a message on Facebook, Facebook Messenger. You can send a message on WhatsApp. It doesn't take anything away from you to do that. But
do you know every Christmas he tell me go and see my parents.
He
go
tells
and see my parents. Go.
he tells you to go and see his parents.
Yes.
No.
I will go.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. At times I will say, okay, look, I'm in need of physical thing. I don't have this. I'm not financially buoyant, because I just came out of service.
Yes.
I've not gotten a job.
Yes.
I said, okay, I need something because I'm not financially buoyant. Help me with this. He said he doesn't have money for now. I should realize that he's coming back.
When is he coming back?
When he comes back, everything will be settled. I don't know.
You need something more concrete in your life because this thing is just relaxed. Yes, I understand. Sometimes a relationship needs that blind faith. You need to just trust that things will be okay. But right now, you need something more concrete than just words. If he was making that effort on his own part, especially in the terms of calling and chatting with you on a daily basis, updating you and making that plan together, we talked about this evening, making that plan together in a long distance relationship. If he was making that effort and taking you along, you wouldn't have some of these fears and concerns. And for the fact that you have actually met him and told him, look, I need to know what I'm doing. I need to know how I'm moving, if we're moving together or not. Since you've already even come out to state this, to say this, and he is not saying anything concrete, I think what you do or what you need to do in this situation is make one last ditch effort. You be like, look, you know what? I love you and this is where I stand. How this is what I want and this is what I need in a relationship, especially with a long distance relationship. It's not easy. Now, if he is not willing to meet you halfway on this, if he's not willing to put in that effort, because it is effort on not just your part, it's effort on his own part too. Both of you have to be giving as much as you're getting. If he's not willing to put in that effort to make you feel, or make you feel that love from the distance, then it's not worth it. That's what I'm going to tell you. It's not worth it if he's not making that effort on his own side. Because, like I said, it's two of you. It's 50-50. He has to put in that effort. I know people who, they're abroad, but they chat constantly. If it's Facebook, I mean, these things are, I mean, right out there, it's probably even freer. Maybe free Wi-Fi. You can send a Facebook message. You can chat with the video chat each other. You can Skype. You can.
Would you do that? Would you do that?
How often do you do that?
At times, he will call me, once, maybe 2 times. If I don't call, at times he will call, he will say that I don't call, maybe I have someone who is there for me, that's all those things.
Exactly.
Okay, now,
that's another thing.
Now, my people have given me Christmas. They say this Christmas, I have to make up my mind to select one person out of all the visitors that are coming. But I have to select.
Victoria, nobody can pressure you to marry who you want or when you want. This is just very simple. For your people want you to get married, fine, but nobody can pressure you to do or marry or be with someone you don't want, especially marriage. Marriage is a lifetime commitment, and you can't do that with somebody that you cannot be happy with, because in the end, you're going to have a terrible marriage and probably even a broken home. So forget what your people are saying right now. What they're just making. I understand. Forget what your people are saying right now. They can't threaten you into marriage. What are they going to do? Let's say now December comes or goes. Are they going to go and find someone to marry you? Or are they going to sell you off? Or are they saying you're like Navdak good, that you're going to spoil or something if you don't mind? Look, they're going to make that decision. But what the key decision right now is for you. Do you feel? If you don't feel confident in this relationship right now, express it to your partner. Let him know the gravity of the situation. And instead of this whole threatening you with, if you can't wait, then go away. This is your life. As much as it's his life, he's out there doing this hustling or whatever his dream. You also cannot keep stagnant. You also have to keep moving forward. You can't wait in one place unless the waiting is worthwhile. So sit down, have this one-on-one direct conversation with him. Babe, this is where I stand. And if he can't give you any kind of positive answer or give you some kind of feedback, because also in the end, he's also suspecting, he feels that you're not being faithful to him. Is he being faithful to you where he is? If he feels that you're not being faithful to him, like you said, that sometimes he'll accuse you that you're cheating or whatever, he himself, is he being faithful to you? Have you ever asked him that? This relationship it sounds very one-sided to me, and he's benefiting from it and you're not. I think in the end, the best thing for you is to lay down the law. Let him know this is it, and he has to make a gesture. A man who loves a woman will make a gesture, will do something, will push himself to keep that person he loves. So let him step up his game, and if he's not ready to step up, then you have to move forward with your life. You cannot remain stagnant. Okay?
All right. Look at this one now. And the one in yes, my friend also, yes. The son has been telling me when are we organizing everything, marriage. This one is a person who loves me very well. And even when I tell him something bad, he will say, I will commit suicide. I will kill myself because of the word. In fact, what he said to me, you made me not to sleep. You made me not to even have rest of mind.
Babe.
I will even tell him, I will show him, I will tell him, please leave my life alone. I'm not interested in other things. He said, please, you'll be begging and all those things. I don't know what to do.
Victoria, that is called emotional blackmail. He's trying, that is emotional blackmail. He's playing on your sentiment and emotions like that. Many people tend to do that to try and keep relationships that they want that benefits them in some way. That is emotional blackmail. You need to be bold and stand up for yourself. What is important is yourself and your happiness, and you need to state it pump and plain. This is how it is, because you need to move forward. You need to move forward. You need to know what it is. If it is waiting, if this is the plan, because in the end, what if now you say you're going to wait, and then in the end he shows up and he's not just that interested in you anymore? He's not making any kind of concrete plans for your life, and you want to move forward. That is totally understandable. But this whole threatening that he's going to take his life if you leave him, if he's going to, that is emotional blackmail. Do not stand for it. Do not fall for it. Make your stand and move forward. All right, Victoria. I hope, and I pray everything works out for you, okay? It's going to be all right. Just take your stand, be bold, and move forward. Whether it's together or not, one way or another, there must be some sort of moving forward, okay? All right. All right. Take care, Victoria. You're still tuned to Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM. And the number to call is still 081 8999 1011. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Heartbeats.
Christian. Yeah.
Christian, can you please turn down the volume of your radio set, please?
Yeah.
All right. Please turn it down so that we can communicate, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Where
Hello.
are you calling me from, Christian?
Thank you, man, that,
Christian.
I met since 2015 December.
Christian, turn down the volume of your radio set. I can't hear you properly. Or move away from your radio. Move away from your radio, okay?
Okay, you're hearing me now?
Yes. Have you moved away from your radio?
Yeah, yes.
All right. Okay, Christian, where are you calling me from?
I'm coming from Dede.
All right. How's Day this morning, my brother?
Thank God.
All right. Talk to me. What can I do
Yeah,
for you?
I'm happy with this program, but this lady I met on 2015, the day I went to operation.
Okay.
So it was in the hospital. I just about the day I wanted to go. My spirit go to this lady.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to this lady. I meet this lady. And the day I wanted to talk to her, she went off.
Okay.
By the time I'm about to pay for bill, my bill, I waited till she come back. She didn't work on Monday morning. So when I get to her, I met her. I told her to give me her number. She gave me her number. She asked me why I want her number. So I said I'll call you. I'll talk to you. Before I left back to Abuja, after the operation, we started chatting. I left early January 2016 to Abuja.
Yes.
So when we are chatting all this while all the like the way you are saying before, I do so. And she doesn't call me. Okay, later on, it was this year. I call her. I even tell her my mind about how I love her, the love I have for her. That I just open up my heart to tell her, let her know. Because the time we are chatting, she told me that she's been paying for asking for God for her own to get married. So God make a way for her. God will do so.
Yes.
So just along the line this year, at the time I let her to know. She told me that she's not interested.
Okay.
I was totally weak. Then one time, the day on that 2016, as I'm about to go back to come back to Abuja, she gave me her visit, and what do you call it? Is the nurse.
Yes.
She gave me all her credentials that I should for work for her in Abuja here.
Okay.
I helped me. When I get back to Abuja in that 2016, I got I put for applications for her.
Yes.
Then they call her about job, and she checked the salary of that place and the here in Abuja.
Yes.
And she let her know that it's still the same. But I told her what things me is that I don't want her to be close to her. So anytime that she will call, so because I'm not the person that she can stay to get married, just to maintain our relationship, to agree to each other well. So she no succeed in having the job. So
Okay.
I'm still looking for another job for her.
Okay.
The only why she's not calling me, I'll be calling her, sending messages, wishing her every monthly messages. But she's saying that she's not interested. I don't understand. I don't know whether she's telling the truth or not. That's what is bothering me. I have people here for me this morning. So that's why I said, let me call you.
All right.
So I can hear what you're saying.
Christian, thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty clear. You have feelings for this person. You've tried to reach out and connect with this person. You've expressed how you feel. But this person has told you that she's not interested in you. She has told you she's not interested in you, even though you're trying to help her with her job and all that. But she's still expressing that she is not interested in a romantic relationship with you. You know, the truth is, women understand the concept of platonic friendship better than men. Maybe she just wants to be friends. She doesn't, want to date you. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong in somebody saying no to you. Yes, and it's always very painful that you feel a certain way for somebody and that person does not feel the same way about you. But you can't force somebody to love you when they feel that they don't at this point in time. All you can do, for me, she has told you, you can't even be angry with her. You can't even blame her. She's been open and honest enough to let you know this is how she feels about you. I think the best advice I can give you in this situation is just to respect that fact. Respect that decision of hers. Okay, she's just not into me. She's just that. Now, if you want to be friends with her, then there's no problem being friends. There's not the problem in helping somebody out. But just because you're not dating doesn't mean it's going to be sour. It's painful. I understand, Christian. Yes, I understand, Christian. But also appreciate the fact that she was honest with you about how she feels. Would you prefer it if she told you, yes, I love you too, and then in the end she doesn't really love you and she's just trying to use you to make money or get a job, and then maybe you bring out and you start dating and then she starts treating you worse? Appreciate the fact that right now, this is how she feels. I respect that fact that she has told you that she does not feel the same way about you. Okay? Christian, the best thing I can tell you is, just, accept that feeling. Don't pressure her, because the more and more you try and compound those feelings, the more and more she withdraws from you. Respect that her decision and just maintain that friendship. Who knows? In the end, it might even blossom into a relationship. Maybe later on she feels for you, but right now, respect the fact that she has come out and she's been open and honest enough to tell you how she truly feels. She's just not attracted to you. It's not a crime. Sometimes there's a saying that goes, God answers every prayer. The truth is sometimes that answer is no. So it's unfortunate that she doesn't feel the same way. But just respect that and pull yourself back. Just give her that space. Respect that decision for now. Okay? I'm really sorry, Christian. But this is how love is. And I promise you, just keep putting yourself out there. There's somebody out there. Maybe, who knows, maybe along the line, it might even still be this person. Maybe right now, at this point in time, it's just not feasible right now. Maybe later on. But give her that space. Pull back. Pull back. Live your life. If this person is meant to be in your life, it will surely come round to you. Okay? All right, Christian. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Have a pleasant evening. This is still Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM. And if you can hear my voice right now, this is Heartbeat. And right now, we're taking in your calls. If there's some relationship quarrel that's bothering your heart, why not call in, share, and see whether we can't find that solution for you? Hello, good evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, good day.
Good evening. Welcome to Heartbeat.
My name is Adigo. I'm calling from Jabi.
How's Jabi this morning, my brother?
But thank God, Jabi is fine.
All right, talk to me. Talk to me. What can I do for you this evening?
No, nothing. I just said that you called to appreciate your program.
Thank you so much, my brother.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and have a pleasant morning, okay?
All right, God bless you.
All right, thank you. Yes, this is still Heartbeat, and my name is Bucci, and like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. The time is getting closer to that hour where we have to wind up, pack our bags, and leave the studio. But I think I'll still take about one more call. So who's going to be that one last lucky call? Is it you? Hello, good evening.
Hey, it's me. It's
Vera. How are you doing?
Sorry, I was watching film. I forgot. When I take time, I say, wow.
Vera, the day that you don't call this program, in fact, that this program will just fall apart. How are you doing, Vera?
The other story I was listening before this, about the guy that they went to the time to get a girl.
Yes.
Most of the guys, they kind of taking it too high. Women, we like doing that guy thing.
Yes.
Take our time. Pray, painting, eye pencil, and all that. So, you need to just take it slow. Maybe at the end, you might win. Yeah, good things now.
Yes.
Somebody wants to go to America, you need to get a visa now.
Of course, yes.
So you need to like think know that you are important and all that.
Yes.
I don't like to see the woman she was. I before you know it, end of the day, my win. I think so it's not something of rushing or acting.
Yes.
Doing it, I don't think you have some voice, right?
Yes, of course.
Good night.
All right, Vera. Thank you so much, Vera. And have a pleasant morning. Yes. And that will be my last call for the evening. I want to thank Vera, who always calls in. She is a great supporter of the program and a special friend. Vera, thank you so much. I want to thank you all for taking this journey with me and the rest of the crew here on Heartbeat together as we've taken this journey tonight down Lover's Lane. Let's do this again tomorrow. Before we leave, I want to thank my super producer, the Grandmaster herself, Shola Brown, giving her a big salute. I also want to thank Mr. Chike in the visual department for making me look this good. You can check us out on our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. I also want to thank my brother in the IT department for streaming us live out there. And I also want to give a big salute to the poshest of the posh ladies, Bako for mouth, Ajebol for skin. Yes, that's the posh lady for her support. And you out there, most especially you, I want to say I love you, I support you. Thank you for your calls and thank you for listening, because without you, there is no us. Let's do this again tomorrow. Always remember, the most important thing in this life is to love and be loved. Good night and have a pleasant evening.